Hi everyone, and welcome to this video where we will delve into the topic of central Syslog servers. Our customers often have questions on when to use them and why. We will hopefully answer those questions and cover the use of central Syslog servers for the matching of virtual devices, or indeed matching logs coming from one Syslog server for many devices. We'll look at where in FireMon to configure a central Syslog server, or CSS, and give some tips on how to troubleshoot. Most vendors supported by FireMon use Syslog. There are exceptions for hit counters and checkpoint using Leah. Those aren't covered in this video. It is also recommended before using this video that our guides have been followed for the steps on how to configure Syslog at the firewall for your vendor of choice. So let's get started. There are three common use cases for configuring central Syslog servers in FireMon. Firstly, it is very common for our customers to use virtual firewalls and have many virtual firewalls on one physical firewall. Secondly, we often have customers ask about sending Syslog not from devices but a CM solution like, let's say, Splunk, or indeed a native Syslog server that all firewalls in the enterprise send their logs to. Examples would be Kiwi or SolarWinds. Thirdly, firewalls can be configured to send Syslog to their management station or a log collector managed by the management station. An example would be Palo Alto Panorama or a Panorama managed log collector. In all three of the above scenarios, we have a situation where the logs for many devices are being sent from one Syslog source. A one for many Syslog stream like this means that FireMon needs a way to distinguish which log is for which firewall. That is where central Syslog servers come in, and they are configured by going to Administration, then Central Syslog Servers. Click Create to configure a new central Syslog server. Give the central Syslog server a name, and then in the IP addresses, specify one or more IPs of where the Syslog will be coming from. Note, from version 9.5 of FMOS, we can specify more than one IP. Versions prior to this would only allow one. Leave the configuration as default, and then click Save. Once we have configured the central Syslog server, it needs to be assigned to the devices it sends Syslogs on behalf of. This can be done individually or via a bulk update. Let's go to Administration and Devices. If I click into this device, we can see that there is a central Syslog server drop-down. Select the central Syslog server that's just being created. In most cases, the Syslog match name here will be pre-populated if the device has been discovered by a management station. vSys or VDOMs discovered by Panorama or FortiManager should have the serial number of the device here. If you are dealing with, let's say, a Cisco ASA, you would need to put the device name here. The alternative to assigning the central Syslog server per device is to bulk update the devices that need the CSS. That's only really possible if you can filter down the devices that need the central Syslog server assigned. A common filter might be by management station. Once you have the filter applied, then click the Actions button on the top right-hand corner, then Bulk Update. In here you can see a choice of central Syslog server. Choose it, then click on Replace All With, and then choose the newly created central Syslog server on the drop-down menu on the right. Click Next, and then Submit on the next screen. Next to verifying the traffic Syslog messages are arriving from the IP address you have defined as the central Syslog server. The video called Troubleshooting Traffic Logs has already dealt with how to verify your FMOS CLI account has the Traffic Analyzer privilege, so we won't deal with that here. We will run the same command as used in that video to attempt to capture any logs being sent from the central Syslog server. That command is tshark-i any host IP of CSS, the word and, port 514. Again, I is interface, any is any interface, IP of CSS is the IP of the central Syslog server you expect to see the traffic arrive from. If you are seeing the traffic arrive from that expected central Syslog server, but the device you have assigned the CSS to is still showing critical in the administration devices, then we should check we are getting a match against the regex match patterns for central Syslog configuration for the device type we are dealing with. This can be viewed by going to Administration, System, Central Syslog Configurations. Click Default, then expand Match Properties. If we scroll through these, we show the various vendors that FireMon supports for central Syslog server matching. As we are dealing with a Palo traffic log for demo purposes, let's grab the match pattern for Palo Alto BSD traffic. We'll use our friend regex 101 to check the sample log collected with Wireshark. As we did in the Troubleshooting Traffic Logs video, let's put the match pattern into the regular expression field. We'll put the sample log into the test string field. We're looking for a match here. If we don't get one, there's a difference in how the log is being sent and how FireMon expects to see it. If there is a match, then it means we're matching the device name and the virtual name, but there may be an issue with the usage matching criteria. Let's go to Administration, Device, Collection Configurations. This is the area we used in the Troubleshooting Traffic Logs video. Here, for demo purposes, I'll use Palo Alto vSys. Let's open it and then expand the Usage Collection section. We need to try the 3 Palo Usage Collection regex against our sample log in regex 101. If we can't get a match, then we need to investigate further. One more command that might reveal more is dcdebug. This can be run at the CLI of the data collector, but it's best to use grep to filter for something you want to see, as quite often the syslog coming from lots of devices or a CSS for lots of devices will be very busy indeed. An example command would be dcdebug pipe grep hostname of device, or dcdebug pipe grep serial number of device. In this example, we are running it against the serial number of a Palo vSys. We are seeing the traffic come in from the physical firewall's management IP, but because it is not defined as a CSS, FireMon cannot determine the origin of the message. If after following these steps, traffic is still not matching, then FireMon can help investigate more. We would encourage you to reach out to your product specialist or FireMon support, depending on what stage you are at in the FireMon customer journey. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video.